What's up, everyone? Welcome to another exciting episode of the Console Corner. It's episode lucky number 13. We're having a ton of fun, and I hope everyone out there is having a great time listening to us talk games every week. Tonight we have a great show lined up. We'll be talking about Call of Duty, Gamefest, DC Universe, and much more. As we always do, I want to go ahead and introduce our guests for this week. First up, we have a guy who's had more time playing Halo than the developers themselves, and also a great YouTuber, Mr. Xbox448.
Yo, thanks for having me, man.
I knew he couldn't say it without a straight face. I knew it.
That was awesome.
Somebody's got to get 343 on the line, man. I got to talk to these guys.
For sure. All right, the next guest tonight about killed me for saying someone else was a bigger Gears fan than her, Miss Foxfire.
Oh my god, no I didn't.
She totally did.
Yeah, you did. You called it. Wait, well, she said she was going to kill me because I was hosting.
Exactly, she said it, so don't worry about it.
But he wrote it.
I know, I'm kidding. Thanks for having me.
Sure. Next up, we have 1/4 of the Four Guys with Quarter podcast, Mr. Italian Clowns.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Next, we have a guy who has single-handedly stole the mantle of negativity from Ran, Mr. Captain Zazma.
Hey guys, ready to be bright and positive and not talk any crap about any games or developers or be rude to my fellow cast members or the viewing public tonight.
All right, I thought behind the scenes that we all made a pact that we were going to be honest, okay?
Yeah.
Hey,
That's what
I
thought.
believe that. I believe that. It was from the heart.
You
Don't-
should. You should. Move on.
All right. One part of the dynamic duo and Phil Spencer's new best friend, SheWolf.
I hate you.
Woo!
Hey, everyone, I'm here to talk games, so let's get in this.
And I'm the other half of the dynamic duo and not on Phil's follow list. What's up here, Phil? What's going on? It's GKB.
Oh, jeez.
This is already the best intro.
Yeah, it's awesome. All right, first up, I want to go around the panel like we always do. I want to see what everybody's been playing for the last week. This is a gaming podcast. So let's go ahead and start with Zazz. What you been playing, bro?
You know what? I forgot now. Had it in my head. Crap, what have I been playing? Oh, yeah.
Overwatch.
Yeah, well, that was just like 2 seconds ago that I got it. Which, yeah, that's cool, but we'll talk about that later, I guess. Trying to burn through all of the Uncharted collection before Uncharted comes out. I played Grand Theft Auto again, and something. Oh, Diablo. Well, you guys knew that one.
Yeah, for sure. What about you, SheWolf? What you been playing?
I 100%ed Never Alone, which that's actually a really cute indie game.
Yeah.
It was on sale for $4 a couple weeks ago, so picked it up. That was really fun. Gears of War 4 beta, was playing that. What other games? Oh, Diablo 3. A lot of Diablo 3.
Heck yeah. What about you, Fox? What you been playing?
Well, number one, Gears beta. A lot of that.
Of course.
Yeah, it was fun. I like playing with different people as well, because I can hear their reaction to different things that happen in the game. Halo, of course. Killer Instinct. You guys don't hate me for this, but I played a little bit of Iron Banner.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Honestly,
kinda
right
fun,
now, okay, come on.
because-
Honestly, right now though, it's better than The Division.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, she said it. She said it. There you go.
I'm
I
going
didn't
to.
say that.
I'm sorry,
Damn.
but it's going to.
No,
out there now.
no.
Well,
Oh,
it
yeah.
was fun because I haven't played it in a while, so it was nice to get back into the Crucible and whatnot. So yeah.
Was it nice? Was it nice though? Really?
Yeah.
Or does it just remind you of a game that could have been something that wasn't something? And then you have a memory of something.
But for its
Nah, it's still
multiplayer
something.
base, though, it is still, for that aspect, it still brings you back. And that's what I'm referring to for The Division is, when's the last time any of us actually touched The Division? I'm talking about, Zazz or GKB.
I rearranged it on my bookshelf the other day. That was about the extent of
Yeah,
it.
see?
I played it 2 weeks ago after the update or whatever. I think.
I'm gonna boot it back up just because you said that.
No lie.
What you been playing, Italian Clowns?
To be honest, Netflix Turn and then I'm still on that Pinball FX2 tables.
Nice.
Nice. Did you get the Civil War table?
Yep, I picked it up.
Oh.
Yeah. That one's dope. What about you, Xbot? What you been playing?
Let's see.
Halo.
What's that
Halo.
game called? I know there's a 5 at the end. Halo. I've been playing Halo 5 a little bit. But I've also been playing. I went back into Sunset Overdrive. I haven't played that for
Such
a
a good
while.
game.
That game is amazing, and the humor
Oh,
is
yeah.
Oh,
like
God, I know.
right up my alley, man. I went into Alan Wake, and the funny thing about Alan Wake is, man, I see a lot of things in Alan Wake that definitely mirror with Quantum Break. Some technical things and stuff like that is really interesting. I actually didn't get into Alan Wake on the 360. Every time I picked,
Did we lose him?
there was something else that caught
There
my
we go.
eye, and I never went around, like I never got around to getting it. So, we got it with Quantum Break now. What else? Of course, I tried Grid 2. Not a big fan of that. I like customizing my cars, not having them tell me what I can and can't put on my cars. But
Right.
mechanics are okay. The cars feel a little flighty. Um, uh, Anything else I forgot?
Nice. I've been playing Diablo. Let's see. I played Far Cry Primal. That's a pretty cool game. I'm only like an hour or two into it. Played a bunch of other little indies and stuff like that. So, yeah, having a good time. So speaking of indies, first topic I want to talk about tonight is Microsoft's It at Xbox is having a Gamefest 2016, where every week they pick a theme and then they have these games that fit this theme, and to highlight them, and we can also get discounts for these games. Some of the weeks for the 3rd through the 9th is Discovery. Through the 10th through the 16th is Play for Free. 17th through the 23rd is What's Next. And then 24th through the 30th is Best of It at Xbox. So what does everybody think about this cool event Microsoft's putting on for these indie developers?
I think that's awesome, actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
because then
Fox,
you
my
could.
bad.
It's okay. Because then you can see games that you never actually noticed before, because there's so many out there, and if they actually highlight certain games for you, you could try those and see how those are.
Cool.
I think because when they first started the generation, Microsoft, that people were saying how they were anti like indies and stuff like that, and then
Right.
they opened up the whole idea Xbox program. I think now they have so many developers that it's about time that they did a spotlight for people who do get into indies,
Mm-hmm.
and I do think it's kind of like how people have wanted that Summer of Arcade back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
it does feel
kind
like
of
that.
might be that answer. You know what I'm saying? But a little bit bigger.
No, that's definitely on point. That was kind of what I was
Yeah.
going to lead into is like Microsoft gets a lot of crap for or a lot of flack, I should say, for not helping out these indie developers and stuff. And and this kind of goes to show you that Microsoft is actually helping these guys and putting them in the spotlight and all that kind of stuff. So.
I will say I think Microsoft turned it around. All right, when they first started, when the X1 first came out, indies wasn't the focus, but they heard because
Right.
of course they're going to look at their rivals, and their rivals are talking indie this, indie that. The people who are on the PS4, they were was it like Resogun and stuff like that. They were really like supporting these games, and for Microsoft to see that and hear the consumer base and what they want, and to kind of turn it around like that. And now I believe they have more indie developers on ID at Xbox developing games right now than Steam does. So that should tell you something right there.
Absolutely.
Well, I definitely think it has a lot to do with Phil, and guys like Major Nelson, because they play PC games and Mikey Bear and stuff like that. So I really think that they saw all those indies out there and they're like, hey, why not bring it to Xbox? I think Phil's doing a good job with all this stuff.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering that too. Like what Xbot was saying there is I wonder if they weren't really focused on them in the beginning because the whole turmoil with Don Matrick and then Phil taking over, there was a lot of shuffling going on. So.
That's what I'm thinking too. I'm with you guys on that page.
I'm actually really happy to see them spotlighting indies like this because there's so many developers out there. Like, look at Ori and the Blind Forest. That was an indie game. And we're not getting the AAA games like we should be, and we are getting all these indie games. But there's so many that are out there that actually are well worth our time, and they're actually really fun to play. Like I said, I was playing Never Alone and played the whole game. The story was great. The characters were amazing. The graphics, obviously they're not like Quantum Break graphics, but, they were still enjoyable to watch, and the colors and how vibrant it was to run through it. So I'm really happy that they're finally putting spotlights onto these indie developers and showing everybody what great games are out there that aren't AAAs.
If I can, I'm gonna play devil's advocate here a little bit. Yeah, it's a really good thing, but I just want to let it be known, like when it comes to indies, I believe there are a few like golden titles that come out, like the Ori and the Blind Forest and stuff like that. But for the most part, I don't think a lot of them. I don't spend a lot of time on a lot of indie titles, so I would still rather have like those AAA games. I think on Microsoft side, on the X1 side, I think we're getting them. And I'm just looking at this year. This year into next year is just jam packed with games that I want personally. So.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, like for the indies, man, like I think you're right. I mean, there's a couple of like, diamonds in the rough there, but for an overall kind of thing, a lot of them are just okay or meh. But my biggest issue with especially the indie boom this generation is just the prices are all over the place, man. Like some games shouldn't be charging as much as they are for some of these games. But.
Yeah, true. I agree with that.
Yeah, I remember when Ori came out. It was Ori, and then they had the what was the Scream Ride?
Yeah.
And Scream Ride was actually more expensive than Ori, which I was absolutely like boggled. I was like, I would have paid the money that they were asking for Scream Ride. I would have paid that for Ori, and then if they made Scream Ride the cheaper one, I probably would have picked that up. But because it was flip flopped, I picked up Ori, and then I kind of never looked back after that.
What about you, Zazz? Kind of quiet over there.
Did they announce State of Decay 2 yet?
Nice.
No.
Move along then, I don't care.
I think it's on sale, for sure, the first one.
Yeah, until they announce that second one, don't care. Move along.
Yeah, I want
Did
to see
you even
that.
beat the first one?
Second one's supposed to be the
first
MMO,
one.
right?
And all of them, all of the add-ons. I loved the first one.
Yeah, the first one was really good.
Beat the crap out of that game, actually.
Cool.
So yeah, it's cool that they did this because like you guys said, and I agree with you, it deserves to be highlighted. I mean, not all of them are going to be great, but the ones that are really good, I'm sure they're going to get spoken about more often now because Xbox doesn't really have that reputation when it comes to indies. When you think of indies, you think of Steam and PlayStation more. And at the same time, it helps people look forward to the new games that are going to be coming out, like Cuphead, Inside, and Below, and stuff like that.
Oh man, Below.
It's
That's kind of my biggest thing, though. I know Xbox, you said that you want the AAA titles and, you're being the devil's advocate and all that, but at the same time, I'm trying to reflect more on the fact that we're not getting these titles so quickly, and at least, we have these indies to at least play something instead of not having any games at all while we wait for these AAA games.
There's always Halo. You can always play Halo.
Well, we're not addicted like you. We don't need to go to Halo AAA.
Like I said, I am in control. I can stop whenever I want to.
Lies.
I have to jump off what SheWolf said, though. I do think that, having all these indies out there it brings diversity to the gaming community. And for a while there, if you think about it, these AAA rated companies were getting too conceited and too cocky with what they were putting out, and they became lackluster. So all these indies that rose up out of nowhere with great characters really gave them a run for their money, and a lot of these big companies are going back to the drawing board to come out with something better.
Yeah, true. A lot of indies
or
out there
these
are really
big companies
creative.
are just force shoveling stuff out. Activision. Excuse me.
They should just water up and go bankrupt. Oh, did I say that? Sorry.
Oh my gosh, awesome guys. All right, since we killed that topic, let's go ahead and move on to the next one. First game tonight I wanted to talk about is DC Universe. Now this is a free-to-play MMO game set into the DC superhero universe. Obviously, it's called DC Universe. But I wanted to go around and see what everybody thought of the game. You know, it's been on PS4 for a while now. What did you guys think? Did you guys get a chance to play it?
Yep. Yep.
It's actually even been on PS3. I used to watch my brothers play it. But
really?
really, I'm gonna channel my inner Zazz and say meh. I don't like it.
I played it. It's fun. The character, the character creation, you get to do a lot. You can kind of make your hero. You can make your villain. There's a lot of in-depth with where you can change color skins, you can change hairstyles, outfits, have different skills. There is a lot of funness to the game. The graphics are not all that great. The queues are horrible, like absolutely
I agree on that.
horrible. And you should not have to wait that long for a game like this.
Yeah, not for anything. Desert freaking. My wife played it. I didn't play it. My wife played it. She downloaded it. She started it up, and then she said that how like on the servers for the people who aren't spending any money, there was
Mhm.
such a long wait.
Hmm.
I didn't even bother opening it up. I mean, first of all, I'm a Marvel guy, and I don't know. I might get hung in the comments for that or whatever, but I grew up on Marvel. My dad used to collect comic books. I've had the Spider-Mans, the Supermans, the Batmans and stuff. I always gravitated more towards like the Avengers and Spider-Man and X-Men and stuff like that. So it doesn't bark up my tree personally. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same way completely. I like certain things about DC, but I'm not gonna sit there and play a game when I know that half of the time I'm not gonna be enjoying it. I also don't even like MMOs that much, really. So that's not my type of game. But I do love Marvel a lot, so I'm right there with you.
now,
Yeah.
gamer, the developer is that a title that came from what used to be Sony Online Entertainment that got moved? They changed their name.
Yeah, I think they just got released from Sony like what was it like 6 months ago, maybe a
Yeah,
little
a
bit
few months
longer.
ago, and they said they were
Yeah.
going multi-plat. So
Yeah. Yep, that's for sure. Yeah, to piggyback on what you guys were saying for the queues for the free one. Last night I tried to get on and play, and I don't know. I said like I waited like 300 minutes or something like that, and I was like, wow. And I was like 7,000 in the queue. I never did get a chance to play. Also, the when you actually do get into play, like it needs some optimization or something because like some of the textures don't even show up. It's very blurry and weird. I didn't really understand it, but
I gotta bounce into this and just tell you that I channeled my inner Zazz and I psychically connected with him here, and the game is just complete trash. I hate to say it because I mean I love comics. Okay, I
yeah,
love everything comics. I'm a big comic geek. I have like 40 long boxes in my garage. Went to tons of comic conventions in my lifetime. But when DC like licensed the rights to this game, I don't know what the hell they were thinking. It does not stand up to be anything near to the greatness of like the comic world at all. It's just it's
yeah,
horrible, man. Like why would they push out this trash? Oh, because it's pay to play. That's why.
yeah, yeah. But I mean, I'm kind of like you, man. I really do like the DC and Marvel universes. DC, I'm probably a little bit more these days, but yeah, I just couldn't get into it, man. Come on, Zaz, what you got, bro?
Well, like, okay, well, anybody who doesn't know, I actually played this game. I had started on this game when it first came out on PS3. Played it to a level 30, and in all honesty, it does open up eventually, but
Well, usually
nobody.
MMOs do that. Like,
Yeah, and nobody should have to work to the amount that it opens up. Like,
mhm.
I've seen where it starts to open, where you get into the instances where you fight Gorilla Grodd. Agree the textures are awful in that game. The animations aren't that good. It does start to get cool when you get the powers and everything like that. But I mean, and when you get to see like, oh, you're fighting like an evil like Trigon version of the Teen Titans. Yeah, that's cool for anybody who likes the universe. But the work that you have to put in to get very little payoff is what kind of like if you're playing with a friend, it's more than bearable. It's a bearable game, but it's just it's not what it used to be when it started out. Now it's this long wait time, this paywall, all that crap. I'm just not having it anymore. It was really good like 10 years ago, and now it's like, ugh.
I think it's a fun game for the younger generations to run around on and act like kids.
But it's fun. I mean, but
See,
you gotta
I mean,
get to it.
I could see that being fun for the young generation as long as you give them your credit card. I'm sure
Yeah.
my daughter would load that thing up.
here, take this platinum credit card and have fun.
Yeah, everything's behind that paywall, man. That is no joke. Like,
Yeah, that 30-minute wait time I saw too. I was like, are you
Yeah, I was
kidding me with this?
Now,
Let's go.
But I
didn't
could
they
pay
say
to
something
get in.
about adding servers or something like that?
Yeah, they did say like, hey, we're working on the the long queue times and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, at this point, like, you really shouldn't have that. It's been
They
out for
should have had that figured out because it's
Yeah.
been an 8-year-old game. I mean, that was maybe not 8, but something close. It's been out a long dang time.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm having more issues on it now than I did when I started on it when it originally launched. So I don't know if they just didn't expect the amount of people who were going to actually like get into this game, but they're just as quickly going to lose everybody in an instance.
Did
So-
anybody else feel like when the game started, like all those cutscenes and the movie was playing, man, I got really hyped about it, and then when I got in, I was
Cutscenes are
like,
not indicative of
what?
the actual game.
Yeah, I know.
Cinematics are definitely much more advanced than the game itself.
Plus, like, you can't ever make your hero, like, that's kind of the Marvel versus DC thing. I always like kind of a darker hero, and they give you the presets of, like, oh yeah, make him look like Deathstroke, and it's, like, just this super bright, vibrant, like, just blocky, nonsense-looking,
Zach.
not like Deathstroke at all, kind of.
Zaz, you like making dark heroes, man? That's a little off.
Yeah.
I couldn't see that coming.
Couldn't see it coming,
At all.
right? Because my bright and sunny meter.
Awesome. Anybody else got any thing to say about DC Universe before we move on?
Nope.
All right, let's get into what everybody wants to hear us talk about. The next game on the docket is COD Infinite Warfare.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh, this is gonna be great. A trailer launched, a live stream happened, Battlefield dev talk trash, COD 4 looks awesome, so let's get into it. Who wants to start?
Oh my god, I'm gonna start with
Wait.
that freaking trailer. I swear to God. Like, there was so much going on and so much cinematics everywhere that, like, you can't even really pull one thing out from another. Like, yes, okay, you're running on the ground. They said, you got the boots on the ground, and then you jump in your ship, which that's cool. I do have to admit, like, the whole jumping in your ship, flying to space and all that stuff. Okay, but then really, it's not COD anymore, is it? If you really look at it, like, you're going up in space and you're shooting spaceships and all that other stuff. Like, is it still COD?
Did anybody else think that the robots look like Chappie from that movie?
Chappie! I love Chappie.
I was like, look, it's
Don't make fun of Chappie.
Chappie is awesome.
Oh my gosh.
If I could kind of chime
Go
in
for it, bro.
on the Call of Duty thing, I'm not a big Call of Duty dude. Actually, this is gonna shock some people and stuff, but I'm not a big like war type person. Like, I don't like the U.S. versus Russia or stuff like that.
Okay.
Eventually,
Old war kind of stuff, right?
well, just like that strategic. Like, I'm into sci-fi stuff, like, with like Halo and stuff like that. That, humans versus aliens and stuff like that. That I can kind of go for when it's like human on human and like United States and Russia or China and stuff. But I mean, eventually, Call of Duty is gonna hit a wall because they are a war franchise. They did the World War II and everything like that, and then all of a sudden they brought it up to Modern Warfare, with COD 4. Everybody got excited about that. They had a couple of those, and then all of a sudden it was Black Ops, which all of a sudden now you're kind of like that the secretive part of the military that goes in on special, quote-unquote, special missions. But, I mean, the only other thing left to do is either go way backwards, the three things: way backwards, way forwards, or do Vietnam. And Vietnam is still too politically sensitive, I think, to really put in a video game like that.
Mm.
So, I mean, you're either going to get the future or you're going back to the past, which they kind of already did. So, it just seems like Call of Duty. I know it sells, but it looks like it's hitting that kind of creative wall, and they keep on going forward in time. So you have like the spaceships and stuff like that. But I've seen a lot of people say when it comes to that, space fighting and stuff, they're not really into that, and they're more excited about the remake to Modern Warfare.
Yeah,
So,
that's totally what I'm totally ready for, man. I thought the COD 4 when they showed that at the end and during the live stream when they were showing that stuff, I thought it looked better than Infinite Warfare.
Fall for it.
Well, of course, that's why, Activision is being smart and they're not selling Modern Warfare 4 without the new COD. Like, you can't buy it without it. It's already been confirmed.
Yeah, that's the only way they're gonna
Yeah,
sell.
that's really sad. That makes me want to
do
cry.
you guys think that's fair? Like to push
It's
a game
smart
off?
move, though.
I made a 10-minute video about why it's unfair.
Like, I mean, if somebody wants the remake at some point in time, they should put out just the remake and not force them to buy a game that they're not gonna play.
I
You know what I'm
think
saying?
maybe
If you
in a
have
couple
both of
months
these
they
games,
might do that, though. Like, I could see in a few months they may, like, actually release just the game or whatever,
If we
but
stay strong now, they will.
or you
They
can
will
just
ban
buy it
it.
on eBay for like 3 times its worth.
Yeah, but Activision, they're not stupid, man. They want that money, so that's why they're like, yeah, we know this game's gonna be shit, so let's put COD 4 in it and we'll sell a bunch of them.
I mean, there's always like places like CD Keys, Craigslist, Walmart returns. You buy the disc, take it back,
take it back. Yeah.
get another one, get a code, put that in, take that back, get a code, sell that, take it back, and there's people that are just gonna keep doing that over and over and over.
Yeah, they're gonna
all
be
right,
stomping on
Walmart
the
is
new Call of
watching
Duty
you
everywhere.
officially now. I just want to let you know that.
You're on their watch list. Oh man. What did everybody like? All right, so let's talk about Infinite Warfare for a second. What did you guys see that kind of looked cool, maybe didn't look cool? You
Nothing.
didn't understand?
I liked the beginning part of it where they were actually like boots on the ground and running through the town, like the city and stuff. Like the city looked fun. I think if they would have just stuck with maybe the ships flying above that kind of like attack that style, I think maybe it could have been better. Because I
didn't see
enjoyed that part.
Did anybody see any booster packs or anything like that? 'Cause
Nope.
I didn't really see any of that. I heard
No,
like
don't
people
think
were
so.
talking about there possibly being in there, but I didn't really see anything in that trailer. So
What I was, I thought it was cool when they went in space, but I was really hoping that like all of a sudden like alien parasites would like go into their eyes or their mouths and take over their bodies and just make them go around killing people random. No, they didn't do anything cool. It was
The
just
Flood?
another
Sounds
Call
like
of
Dead
Duty.
Space.
You talking about the Flood?
No Halo
Don't do
references
that.
here.
That was,
Don't do
I
that.
thought about Dead Space for a second.
Oh yeah, that too.
yeah,
Yeah.
Dead Space would be awesome.
Awesome.
Here, I
man.
got a quick question for the panel.
Sure.
Citizen says, was Microsoft smart for cutting the COD ties because P24 is exclusive for 30 days?
I think Microsoft saw COD as a franchise that was watered out, and they wanted to invest their money elsewhere. And I think it was a smart move.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the CODs we've been getting lately, I think they saw the writing on the wall and was just like, we're kind of done.
I think it was smart. I think, they let COD go knowing that Titanfall and Battlefield and all that are coming, so I think they really took that into consideration, and I could see them actually pull off the marketing rights for both of those games.
I just think they got outbid, but that's just me.
No, I can't see that.
Even if they got outbid, and it's Microsoft, so I think it came to a decision. And I personally, I'm not a big Call of Duty fan, and like I'm gonna let it be known, but I think it was a smart decision. Call of Duty, it's still gonna sell. We know that, but it just seems to be getting stale. It seems like the consumer base that buys Call of Duty, like they see the new ones coming out, and it doesn't seem like they've been happy. Like the one previous to this, the Black Ops 3, people were excited because it said Black Ops, but then you didn't hear too much after that. You know what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
was one of those guys too, man. I was like, oh man, it's Black Ops, and then I got it, and I was like, what is this? I don't even know what they're trying to do right now. Like it felt like so many different games and not COD to me, and it really turned me off. I really didn't play this one at all.
So whether it's by chance or it's by direction, I think Microsoft got out exactly when they needed to when
Hmm.
it came to that game franchise.
I
I
agree.
also think a lot of people buy COD now just for the zombie modes. So Activision, if you really, really want to be smart, just create a zombie game.
Yeah, I would totally buy that. Just the zombie one. What are you
Like
gonna say, Zaz?
COD zombies, like, come on.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know a lot of people had played just the zombies. So
Yeah, that's the interesting thing too. Is like they don't really have like the marketing rights, and Sony has that now, but they still pretty much sell more on Xbox than PlayStation, which is kind of weird.
it's funny, but shout out to Crap Gamer and Next Gen 720. They basically said that when it was announced that Sony had like the marketing rights and was getting the DLC first, they were like, well, not for anything, but COD is known as like a quote unquote Xbox game, and it's still gonna sell well on Xbox, and they kind of predicted that before we actually see the results. So shout out to those guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, people definitely feel more comfortable using the control on the Xbox when it comes to games like that.
I will give
So-
one thing to COD games. Sorry, Fox, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, it's okay.
Is they give you a tremendous amount of value for the game, because they have single player campaign, they have multiplayer, they have zombies, they just have so much to give to the fans that buy the game. So there's that.
I think it was Jamie Moran who actually mentioned this a couple of days ago or yesterday, that if it was a different game, a new IP, it would have been interesting. But since it's Call of Duty 4 and we saw that trailer, it doesn't feel like Call of Duty 4 at all. So it's different.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
think
but-
about it. If it was a new IP, how would it be perceived then? Probably better,
Yeah,
from what
probably.
I've seen. I've seen a lot of negativity towards it because of that whole futuristic climb and stuff like that. But if it was a brand new IP, it doesn't have, then again, but Call of Duty has a consumer base that Activision should kind of adhere to as well. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. That's the other thing. Is like, what have they really been thinking of? Like, all of their fan base has been saying, "Hey, go back to World War II. We want boots on the ground." This one I guess at this point, it looks like boots on the ground, but definitely not the direction I'm pretty sure the fans wanted. What up, Zaz? I know you got a lot to say about this.
Oh, I've been waiting. Oh,
Come on.
I've been waiting. At this point, I am absolutely convinced that Activision is Jim Jones, Infinite Warfare is the cyanide, and Modern Warfare Remaster is the purple Kool-Aid that makes you sweeten it and take the poison. Like, everybody, if anybody, like, I know, like, only 19 people watch my video, so, 15 maybe. So I can reiterate this comfortably. CLoWnZ, I know you watched it, so just turn away. You don't have to listen to it again. Please, people, just don't buy it. Don't buy it this year. Like, hold out and, like, you know what? After 3 months, if they don't release it standalone, okay, break down, get it if you need it that bad. But we got so much crap coming out this holiday. We don't need Modern Warfare Remaster, and I will make the point, and I will say it again, and I will probably get vilified for it. I guess it's not that bad because I did yell about Gears of War on this show. I don't think it's going to be as good as we all remember. If I recall, it was locked to 3 perks, if I'm not incorrect. And there was martyrdom on it, so be ready for exploding hallways. Maybe if this was Modern Warfare 2, like, okay, I understand if people become weak in a moment of COD-fueled nostalgia, but let's just not fall for it this time. Like, let's not give them a reason to keep doing what they're doing, because they can bluff their sales by throwing in what everybody wants, what they know they want, and there's I mean, I'm sure they've come up with some bullcrap excuse to justify this, but I even saw on Twitter a voting thing where like 2,000 people introduced it, where it was like or retweet. What are you more excited for, Infinite
It's COD
Warfare
one.
or Modern Warfare? And it was like 4-1 what the votes were.
Yeah, for sure.
Like they know what they're doing, and this is so much corporate bull crappery right now.
Well, you got a good
True.
point. You got a good point as far as like, there's a lot of competition for shooters this year because Doom's coming up here in a week or so, week or two.
Yeah, May
We
10th.
have Battlefield coming out either this year or early next year. Gears, Titanfall 2.
I mean, we got Overwatch, but that's going to be not.
Overwatch releases May
So
24th.
we got that to play for a little while. Like, we don't. Do we need this one?
Wait, we got Uncharted 4 coming out. It's got multiplayer, right?
And they could
And
could
free DLC.
do the nice thing and do backwards compatibility, at least to remind us, and they're not going to do it because they're a bunch of corporate turd burgers, and they all want us to take a bite of the bullcrap product that they're slinging. I wash my hands of this, and if DICE wants to come out and do something amazing, they can go and just really screw it to them because they've already been talking crap. Do Battlefield Bad Company 2 remaster, give it in, sell it standalone. Just let's hope that my hate will reach every ear.
You know what, though? I think the reason they're doing this is because when Ghost came out, it did so poorly. And then, they released that, oh, hey, we're going to do space and whatnot. Everyone was already kind of on the sidelines for this because it's, the developers that did Ghost and stuff like that. And so everyone's already on the side. And then, of course, they bring out that it's space. So now everybody's even more like, where's our old game? Where's our old game? So
Oddly enough, if I can interrupt, I'm the only one in Ghost who actually, that was the only part of Ghost I liked, was the part in the space station where I was like, okay, this is realistic suits, white guns, this is actually kind of cool. But everything else is just whatever.
I don't know. I didn't really.
I like the space station.
But when I think about it, Activision saw that backwards compat gave them the opportunity to bring out this game for the fans because they just had to sit back and watch their games go to the top of the line for backwards compat that everyone voted on the Microsoft site. They saw that and they're like, hey, okay, everyone's worried about this game, so let's turn around and give them the game that everybody's voted on, but you can only get it if you buy this game. So they're looking at it as a marketing deal as big as possible, though.
I was going to say, do you think the Sony marketing with COD kind of shielded that whole back compat thing from, at least happening by now?
It could have.
No.
I think a big part of it is just money.
They're just greedy.
Yeah, why give games that people already have when they can remaster these games and make more money?
Use the same
Especially
engine.
if the Call of Duty franchise is starting to go downhill and it is starting to slowly fall apart.
I will say, as a non Call of Duty fan, you know what I'm saying? When I saw the ship pull up and transition into space, I thought that looked cool. That personally, because I'm into sci-fi and stuff like that, I thought that transition looked really cool. But I said, I do know that there's a consumer base that is COD. You know what I'm saying?
The cutscenes, they were kind of cool. Don't get me wrong, they were kind of neat looking. But here's the thing: there was no actual game, so they're just selling us a bunch of crap, a box full of poop.
Preach.
As far as I'm concerned. And you know what? Those idiots who stole the Uncharted 4 trucks or whatever, they need to be stealing these Call of Duty trucks.
That's pretty funny.
So
what I think is
Are you
so
saying they
funny,
should bury
though?
it next to the ET cartridges?
Bury it in the
Yeah.
Mexican desert.
As soon as it goes through New York City and hits Chinatown, it needs to be all over Canal Street. They just need to jack those trucks like they did on Uncharted 4.
Right?
I still see, though, that when the game releases and people play it, I just have the biggest feeling it's going to be like, oh my god, this is the best game ever, even though, everyone's talking down about it now. I just see some part of it turning out to be everybody's like in love with it because of this space thing.
Well, SheWolf, you got to remember, like when Zazz is pleading to like the intelligent gamer out there, but
That's
when it
true.
comes to Call of Duty, you have a really huge base of like 10 to 14-year-old boys who, for some reason or another, completely know my mom. All right, do you really think that you
Oh
are
my
gonna
God.
convince that group right there that you don't like? This is not a good game to really kind of invest in right now.
If I haven't been able to now, then you know what? Let them rot in their
You'll buy it.
preteen wasteland.
Zazz, you'll buy it.
I'll buy it if they do a collector's edition with a blender that's strong enough to put that garbage game into.
I would
Looks-
watch
Wow.
that actually. If you did.
Yeah, I would watch that video.
Like
yeah,
if
definitely.
somebody wants to start a Kickstarter of me going outside of a GameStop, buying this game and then snapping it in half in front of a line, I will do that in a heartbeat because I am done with this game.
Oh my gosh. Tell us how you really feel, Zazz.
Oh, I haven't
Yeah,
even
no, we
started.
don't, I don't think we have time for that.
I know. Wait for 4 guys with quarters, and I'm gonna go
I
on
wanted
that
to-
one and do
I want
that.
to ask you guys one thing real quick though before we move on to the next topic is like during the stream they said something kind of like I don't know, they really didn't want to hint to it, but they were like, you know, does the ships and all that stuff going to translate into multiplayer? And then the guy kind of was like, well, some of the aspects might be in the multiplayer, so would you guys be cool with like flying jets around and doing stuff like that?
Well, I mean, it could just be the jets flying in the background, like in the sky, and like you can call in air support or something.
You know, if I want to play a subpar game that has spaceships, I'll stick on Battlefront and at least I'm in an X-wing. Like, there's that. Like, I mean, it's, you know, the only thing that makes Greedo seem cool is dang Black Ops, or not Black Ops, sorry, Infinite Warfare. That's the only thing. Done.
You know,
Done.
G, if I know you pull positive out of a lot of things. If
Yeah.
that's the positive you're pulling out of this game, I mean, there's another game that's coming out as well. You know, it's called Battlefield for people who do like war games. And you want to talk about like flying ships around and stuff like that, and then also listening to those first-person war shooter type fans about going back to the boots on the ground and stuff like that. I think DICE might have something over there. I think
Yeah,
they
For
might
sure.
they might turn out to be to get even bigger after this is all like said and done.
Well, isn't that
Yeah.
kind of like what a couple of DICE people? I'm not saying devs completely. Some people are saying they weren't actually devs, but
Yeah.
you know that they were just
There's
marketing
some pretty nasty stuff.
people,
I
and
hope they
you
were
know,
devs.
they were really putting down this COD trailer.
I'll buy
Assassin,
2 copies.
he went and checked to make sure they were developers, and yeah, 2 of them were developers.
Oh, they were developers.
Yes.
So you know they were saying that like their graphics look like from 3 years ago. Some said that it looks like from 10 years ago. Some say it looked like from 2010. Like they were harsh on this game. So
Well,
looking at
tough
that
love.
though, yes, but looking at that though, with some people saying that the Battlefield graphics aren't all that much up to par, DICE really needs to come out with like a bang up like game if they're going to put down Call of Duty.
well, I mean, you think about it too, though. We know Activision's greedy, so they probably haven't updated their, like computers and dev stations for like at least 10 years. So I mean, definitely possible.
True.
Yeah, for a fact, Battlefront looks way better than anything Call of Duty has come out with. And
Preach.
And I feel like it's weird because there's still a lot of things in this game that are going to interest people, especially who like sci-fi and stuff. Like Rand was saying that he's interested in this game and he likes the way it looks and the space and the ships and stuff like that.
He's sci-fi. If you were on a previous show, he has some
Yeah.
special attachments to.
Yeah, I heard about that.
spaceships.
Did Rand really say that?
Yeah.
I am absolutely convinced
Didn't
that
you
it's
watch
just to make.
TXR?
I don't watch any of this. I don't want to compare myself to them.
Exposed people.
Exposed.
I am convinced that he is doing that just to try and make me like break something. Like that's. I know you ran. And you're trying to get to the core of me.
I mean, maybe Activision bribed him to say that.
Maybe they
You never
did.
know.
Oh, wait. Well, yeah. No.
Everybody just waited out Titanfall
He's not
2 if you
selling
want to
it.
play sci-fi. It's way, way better.
My
Like,
most
Well, so-
anticipated shooter is Titanfall 2, so I really don't
Oh, yeah.
care either way about these two games coming out. Only reason I'm going to end up having to buy it is because GKB is going to want more Modern Warfare 4, so.
CD keys, Walmart returns. If
I'm not gonna lie, man.
Still sells games, Kmart
I
returns.
really want that COD 4.
You know,
for sure.
gee, all you have to do is become friends with somebody who's around the age of 10 to 14 years old, and they want the new game. So you're like, hey, man, you know, you're not gonna play that one, so you might want to
Yeah, just give me that.
hand that over here.
You don't know nothing
That's
about
all you have
this.
to do. Yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
And I just want to be clear, I was just kidding about the Rand thing. I know Activision didn't bribe him, so nobody take that for gospel. It's like, oh, Klutz, no.
Oh, he's already writing that down.
I was
man.
just kidding.
I just want to let you
He
know.
already got a tweet about it.
it would be a good on his part. I wouldn't be angry about him because like it's a good business move, but they got deep pockets.
For sure.
Well, I heard a couple of things that people are really interested in, which is that people from Naughty Dog helped them write this game, which I was like, whoa.
If
And
that's true,
yeah, I heard that
That's
from
pretty
Open
crazy.
World Gaming, and I was like, that's kind of like surprising
That's
to me.
interesting.
like GKP, I know you know, like we were like raging about the story of Black Ops 3 about how like disjointed and nonsensical it
Oh
was.
god, it was.
Like just all
The
over
last
the
third of
place.
the
worst
game was
story
just
ever.
terrible.
Like what was that besides some kind of like acid trip 70s like computerized nightmare nonsense bullcrap plagiarism game?
Honestly, yeah,
Damn.
It was everything and nothing, and
Until
the
last
most
three
enjoyable
descriptions, that sounded
thing-
good.
You know, the most enjoyable thing, though, of Black Ops 3, I think, was actually when you're in, like, the home base and you could, like, run around to, like, your little room and all the other, like... I think I enjoyed that more than the story.
like the actual game. Yeah. Like,
Damn.
there's so many more things in the actual game that are
Yeah,
enjoyable.
there was even,
than
like,
that.
a little inside
Alright.
game that you could go to a computer and play.
let's go ahead and move on, guys. Let's
Oh,
talk.
you're trying to control it now? Don't do that. Don't do that.
We talked COD to death, man.
I can keep going.
I know you could. Oh,
Well,
that's
then
all right
get
now.
your channel going there, Zazz, and...
Yeah.
I know
Sean-
there's one topic I'm waiting for. I
Oh,
don't know if anybody can guess what that is.
I'm trying to get to
I
it
know.
right now, but Zaz keeps wanting to keep me on COD
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. I feel like we could go on way longer for real.
Okay, I know, for sure. Alright, so Memories of Reach DLC has been posted by 343. We're getting the Infected mode, which is one of my favorites. A new map, Stasis, more Rex. So that's going to drive Xbot crazy here. And a bunch of weapon balances. So let's go ahead and start with Xbot. What do you think, bro?
Oh, dude, I am completely excited, and you didn't even say like the kind of rumor type things that are going
Dude,
on.
that's
like,
why I got you on the show, bro.
You know, first of all, it's called Memories of Reach, so you have to think back to Halo Reach. So when it comes to the armors that you'll be able to get, they're all from the characters of Reach. So you have, you know, the big one is Emil. Everybody wants to have that skull etched into their visor. Another one is George. Okay, the guy who had the huge machine gun.
Oh,
And-
yeah.
And another rumor going around is that you'll be able to actually acquire his huge machine gun.
Oh yeah, that's that
Alright.
legendary one that
Right.
everybody was talking about.
Are you going to be able to use
Yeah.
that in like everything or just Warzone?
I think
It would just be
Warzone.
Warzone. Like, you got to remember, Arena is balanced. Okay, they need to have it balanced. It's going back to the original idea of Halo multiplayer, which is having the power weapons, out on the map, controlling the map, the power weapons, stuff like that. So Warzone is kind of like that fun sandbox where you get to use all sorts of
Yeah, like
crazy weapons. Okay. But then they have that one card in the middle that's completely blocked off. They have like the Oni symbol on it. I believe that is the Falcon, the helicopter from Reach. And I have a
Yeah, I
feeling
heard
that
about
they're gonna put in a new UNSC vehicle, like the helicopter vehicle that has the
That
two
would be really
machine
awesome,
guns,
man.
one on each side. And oh man, dude, have one person flying,
And
have
2 people on the sides. Yeah.
2 of your friends, 1 on each side, and just go crazy in Warzone.
Yeah, that'd
Not
be
only
amazing.
that, like all the skins and stuff like that. I mean, 343 has outdone themselves with this game, and this
Yeah,
is
they get
not
better
like
and better.
there's still more coming. All right, like, but the whole the whole Reach theme, I thought that was really cool. I'm excited.
Absolutely. I agree with you, man. Like 343 has like rewritten the book for DLC, man. Like they're just putting out phenomenal stuff all the time. I'm really stoked for Infected, dude. I love that mode back in the other Halos. What about everybody else? Everybody excited?
Meh.
What?
The famous
Like,
words
what?
from Zazz.
Just broke Xbot's heart right there.
Like, do I need to remember Reach all that much? I don't think I do. Where's my
Reach is
story?
amazing.
I just want story DLC. I can't. If I have to know that I have to put like 1,100 hours into that game to actually unlock all the armors, I'm like just disjointed and mentally zoned out now. All I wanted was the Veil armor, and now that's been crushed. So never mind. Done. Come on.
I have the Veil helmet. Just let you know.
After
Yeah.
1,100 hours? Come on.
Well, no, and I also have the armor, but it's a different variation. It's the Fangs variation. So
Still. Okay, okay, maybe a little bit of hope's been restored.
I like heard his
I like-
heart like drop to the floor when
you heard that, right?
It's just like with Bear when I did the Gears thing, like this, I'm just doing this to everybody.
But in Zazz's defense, I mean Zazz is my boy and everything like that. In his defense, I do see what he's saying when it comes to story. All right, I say that Halo 5 is the best multiplayer this generation.
I'll agree with that. Hands
All right.
down.
Yeah.
I understand 343. They set up kind of like the future of the next Halo games with starting with Cortana and everything that happened. It was a little anticlimactic at the end. It was just all of a sudden you had Master Chief and Locke. They were just kind of like, oh yeah, we're cool now. Let's just all run together and stuff like that. It was a little flat at the end. I'll give it that. And to have a more in-depth story, like something added on to make it a little more substantial, I can definitely see that. But in terms of the multiplayer, there's no game out there that can touch what 343 is doing right now.
The multiplayer is absolutely amazing, and I'm glad to see everything that they're bringing in, and I can't wait to see what else they bring. I do agree, the story was definitely lacking for them having you go back and forth between Locke and Master Chief. Everyone wants Master Chief, like, come on. Either way, and I just think they did too much where you were doing more running to get where you were going than you were actually where there was a story. And so for that aspect, I wish they would actually bring out DLC for the story, but I wish every game would kind of do that. I wish they would actually continue with some of the stories that they have, but they never do. But I fully agree that from what Xbox is saying that, yeah, the multiplayer is absolutely amazing. They just had the firefight. I wish they would bring that back permanently. That would be like...
That
Coming
and
soon.
Firefight and kill Chief, and then we're done. And then
Don't kill Chief.
Oh my-
Don't shoot.
Don't kill Chief.
That's blasphemy, sir.
yeah, I got to do something because Rand is in here in the chat triggering me.
Yeah, he is getting you.
And I wish somebody would just block him.
All right, check this out. When it comes to firefight, I want to say this here. I think I said it in one of my videos, but just to let the audience know and everything, this is what I'm kind of predicting for firefight. All right,
Okay.
June on the E3 stage. When 343 comes up to talk about like Halo Wars 2 and everything like that, they're gonna have their little mic drop moment. It's like, oh yeah, by the way, Firefight, which so many people played the beta for, and this and that. When we're done with the conference, it's ready to play now, and they're gonna drop it right then and there.
That'd be cool. Xbot, if I can ask you though, you obviously have a bunch of hours in the Halo. I'm assuming you're above average gameplay at it. Did you think it was a little bit easy, in honesty? Would you want a harder mode on it, or was there just some weird balances that you thought was in there? I thought it was a little bit easy at points, but then other points were way too difficult, so go
Are you
figure.
talking like Firefight?
Yeah, in Firefight. Like, the
Yeah,
garage was way too difficult, but everything else was, like, really easy.
See, the garage, if you had people working together, you had you had people coordinating with vehicles on the outside, and somebody please stay in the garage so they're not taking it over. All right, at least have
Everybody
a
goes out,
body
man.
in there. Everybody goes outside the garage and tries to shoot into it, and they're just like, okay. And you see the little circle building up, like it's like, yo, we got to get in there.
I want to see more maps for that mode.
It could definitely be
Yeah.
harder. It would be cool if I don't know, maybe somehow there's a difficulty selector before
Yes,
time.
that's what it needs for sure.
That would be I would be totally down for that, because there's you are right, at points in time it seems really easy, like shooting all the watchers. I mean, the watchers literally run away from you.
And the Phaetons and everything was, like, way easy, too. Like,
Yeah.
A lot of those were easy.
Get a little cover and a railgun and you're all set.
Yeah.
Real quick,
Well,
guys, I want to go shout out Rand, Crap.
Why are
everybody
you
else
doing that right in the middle?
in the chat there, making Zazz go nuts. I love it.
Just
Thank you.
derailed me. Don't draw attention to their bad behavior. I don't like it, because it's gonna
Well,
make
I'm going
others
to
do
point out,
it too.
I'd like to thank everyone who's in the chat watching,
Ooh,
tuning in with us. So.
you just got high-roaded.
We just gotta let Crap know one thing, and that's hashtag UW.
Oh man, he loves that.
That's all we gotta say.
Wow.
What were you gonna say, Zazz? Before I cut you off.
I don't even remember. I'm just
Oh my god.
really angry right now. Just every time Rand says something, I know that he's just messing.
Wow,
Like,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
dying.
Well, he just hit you another one there, Zazz.
Like, I wish he was. I really wish he was in here right now, so anybody who's listening to this post can know that he's saying some crap in the chat. But I'm just dying. Sorry, I'm like losing all my train of thought because I'm just paying attention to his nonsense.
Well, here you go. Rand just said, while listening to this podcast, I decided to support Activision and buy the $100 version of COD.
Do it.
I think he just went completely insane, and I think he's very sick. He must have got some type of poisonous spider bite. He must be feeling a little bit of fever, possibly malaria.
I feel like he might actually buy it to spite me, just like how I'm gonna I'm gonna drop 400 on VR just to spite Mooch. Like, just cause.
Oh, wow.
Just
Oh
because
my
we're
God.
doing
Mooch,
that
if you're
now.
listening.
Oh my gosh.
That's a big call out.
So
Where
we
is
didn't hear
he?
we didn't hear from Italian clowns about Halo.
You know, look, I know Xbot's a huge Halo fan, and Inferno is a huge Halo fan,
I
and
hear it
Assassin
hear
is
it
a
come.
huge Halo fan.
Here it comes.
But Microsoft, dude, I just don't know how to say this in the nicest way possible
Don't
because it's
say it in the meanest you can. Go for it.
it's really kept Xbox fans very happy, Halo, and same with Gears. But Halo has been played out. It needs to mature and die off, like if somebody was going to make a Mass Sequel 5. It's getting old, and they need to do something new with it, and maybe change the IP name. Yep, that's my take on it.
Well, they did try something new with this and lock and stuff, and yeah, fans weren't having it, man.
But I mean, like, Halo 5 was the first one that I actually played. I did play 2 and 1 on the original Xbox a little bit, maybe like 10 minutes before I threw the disc out of the disc drive. But yeah, it's old, and it's very old,
But
and the
if
suits
you don't
are
really
like
play
rusted.
it, how can you call it old?
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Kill Chief, right?
If you didn't play all of them, like Reach and everything, how can you call it old if you like?
I did go back and play the Master Chief Collection and beat every
Okay.
single one with Inferno and Assassin.
That's fair.
But it's it is old. It's just very old, and it's
I'll agree
dusty.
just for the purpose of
and
just agreeing with you, Klaus.
The suits are getting rusty.
Chief's old.
Wow,
He's
is
in
this
retirement.
just like game hating tonight?
No,
Like,
I'm not trying to hate because I know people love Halo. I'm just saying, like, from my
Alright.
perspective. This is my
Check
perspective.
this out,
my
clowns. All right, I'm Bonnie Ross or somebody like that, and I come to
Who?
you. and I'm like, hey, how could we make Halo better? Give me some suggestions on what you would say. Give me.
Well, I would say that you need like apocalyptic stuff, like end of the world viruses, people dying, and you're like the last person alive to save the world.
Like the
Um,
flood back.
I was gonna say flood. Okay, go ahead.
so like take the flood to a very violent level, like NC-17 plus or something, or like make like some type of parasites that go in people's brains and control them, kind of like Dead Space, but
Like
make
Dead
it very
Space, but Halo. I dig it.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
dig this.
but
I-
make it very violent and make the suits mutate based on the parasite that's in them.
But why don't you just
So
go
then
for
it's
Dead
not.
Space?
Yeah. So it's not Halo anymore then.
It's
That
not.
kind of.
Well, I mean, it still could be like Master Chief or something. He's just parasitically infected.
Interesting.
Kill him. Done with it.
All right, let's go on to the next topic, guys.
Oh man. Can I just say one more thing?
Go for
Nope,
it, man.
nope,
I
we
know,
had
I know
to
you want to say
Guys,
something.
see, I know like the Halo universe with the books and stuff like that. Don't be surprised if they introduce something in the next Halo called the precursors, and those things. Oh my goodness. Yeah, just wait. Those are basically the things that created everything in the beginning, and they come through and they wipe everything out to redo it when it's kind of went the wrong direction.
Wait,
So just keep
am
that
I
in mind.
stupid or were those not? I thought those were the things that we were fighting in Halo 4. Maybe I'm not paying attention that well.
No, those are the Forerunners. They held
That's the
something
Forerunner.
called the mantle. See, you don't
Chalk
know
it up to the fact that I'm not paying attention to the story, guys.
Well, I'm just gonna add something quick to that because I didn't get a word in. So I just wanted to say that I love Halo. It's amazing. Best multiplayer on
Why
Xbox
you
One.
gonna do that?
Because I don't like this negative stuff,
Don't
so I'm just
undermine
gonna
my
say the
negativity.
truth. The truth is that it's amazing online, and I can't wait to play the new stuff that's coming out, Infection and Firefight, and I am looking forward to getting all the new skins and stuff like that too.
Wait, is Infection about parasites?
Yeah, you get infected on
Well,
there.
yeah, you kill one person's infected, you kill the other person, they get
It is
infected.
infection.
Comes
Oh,
with a
it's
nasty
like-
green sword too.
It's
I
like
don't know
Call
if you
of
guys.
Duty.
Green's my color, so.
No, Call
oh
of Duty.
my goodness.
Well, they have
Oh,
an
and just let
infected
you guys
mode.
know, anybody who actually does play Halo, I have my own Spartan company. G definitely Fox. I know Fox, you're in it already. SheWolf, like you
Okay.
guys, definitely join up.
It's personal promotion and everything. It's just come on.
All right, so I want to see what Zaz is going to talk about this next topic here.
What?
So some news about Uncharted 4 DLC.
Oh.
And from what we
Indie
hear
perks
is
up
the
again.
multiplayer is going to be free. I'm glad to see that a lot of people are taking the Halo model and going with it. So let's hear what you have to say about the free DLC. Mr. Zaz.
It's kind of I'm glad it's
I
free.
think it sucks actually.
I'm glad it's free.
It's Uncharted, man. It's gonna be crap.
I'm definitely glad it's free, but I don't want them to focus on that. That was if I had one bad thing to say about Last of Us. It was that they didn't focus on making a extra story like they should have, because they only made Left Behind, which was good, but it was short. And they focused way too much on a multiplayer that, though it was fun, it's not going to be a competitive thing. Like Uncharted multiplayer is fun, but it's kind of like how they threw in like Mass Effect multiplayer and Dead Space multiplayer. It's
Assassin's Creed multiplayer.
yeah, and that was fun too for a time, but it's not like anything serious. Like it's more than playable. Cool that it's free, whatever. And if I get paid story, I'm all on board with that. I don't really know of any way to spin it negative for it being free, but I'm sure somebody here will try and find a way. So whoever's gonna do that, go next.
Yeah. I don't really see anybody buying an Uncharted game to play the multiplayer, honestly.
Which we don't.
See, that's what I was going to say. Look at Uncharted Collection. They completely left out the multiplayer. And I know this is all about the games and stuff like that, but it was so funny when the Drake's Collection, like when that was all presented, people are like, oh, you don't play Uncharted for the multiplayer and stuff like that.
Which you really
and now
don't.
people are... people are holding like that free DLC. Free DLC is awesome, all right.
Mhm.
Don't get me wrong, but do we know the scope of like how much you do have to play and stuff like that to unlock the DLC? Because I believe it's like a point system within the game,
It's
right?
kind of like a dollar system almost. From my understanding of the last ones and the little bit of the beta that I did get to play, which I know there's going to be like kind of characters and stuff like that, like new power-ups and stuff. So no, we don't know realistically what it's going to be like. But again, like those are kind of a pleasant little add-on, like for if you just feel like picking it up and playing something. Where the thing that I would actually like go forward and pay for would be any kind of storyline. Like that's what I'm
now
going for.
basically what I want to say is now that this came out, for people that are excited about the multiplayer and the free DLC, can we go back and say about that collection that collection was incomplete because it didn't have multiplayer?
It depends. I mean, the first one, okay, no multiplayer. Second one had multiplayer that was good. It's not really breaking any grounds. It's kind of like 5v5. Like, there's only so much they could really do. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I did like I played the multiplayer for about I'd say like a week and a half. Got really good at it for the time being when people were still new. Jumped off. Like it was a little bit crappy with the collection that they didn't just like kind of tack it in there. But I guess they figured like, what's the point? Because like there was kind of a dwindling player base on it anyway. It's just decisions in the long run, so it's like whatever.
Do you think they're giving away for free to like entice more people to play the multiplayer?
Maybe that's entirely possible. As long as it is stuff that doesn't take away from them doing any kind of story DLC, because that is what happened with Last of Us. It happened with BioShock Infinite with their stupid challenge modes instead of like focusing on the burial at sea, like they should have. So, I mean, it's fun. Actually, the thing that I don't know if anybody read the list, what's far, far more enticing than any of the multiplayers, Uncharted 2, and I believe 3 did, unless I'm dumb and forgot, they had this co-op mode where you ran through like these kind of simulated story events, like a tank like chasing you through a town and stuff like that. Really nice, huge co-op mode. That was really, really addicting, actually, really fun. And they said that's going to be like, I think, unless I'm not looking at the list right now. I thought they said it was August for co-op, so that's way more enticing to me than, because Red Dead did the same thing where it had their kind of tacked on multiplayer. Then they released co-op, and the co-op was way more fun than the multiplayer ever was. So let's see how that goes when it happens.
Right. SheWolf?
I'm gonna be a Zazz and be like, meh.
Everybody's beating me tonight.
I don't have. I'm sorry, but I won't play Uncharted. I haven't played any of the Uncharteds, so frankly, I could care less about the DLC. Sorry.
That's fair. Anybody else want to talk about the Uncharted DLC multiplayer?
When it comes to Uncharted and Tomb Raider, either one of them I'm not like a huge fan of, but I will say this: I think it's really cool that it is going to be free. I think it's good for Uncharted fans.
That's funny, Italian, because usually everybody picks one side or the other. It's kind of funny that you're not really a fan of either one.
No, with Tomb Raider, to be honest with you, I think it only sold because of what's her name, Lara Croft, and they objectified her as much as they could. And then they come out with Uncharted, who's a guy version of Lara Croft. And it's just like, wow, they trying to objectify him too to the female audience? I don't know. That's just the way I look at it.
You'd rather just watch Indiana Jones and call it a day.
Clowns, that is just some bad pictures in people's heads that probably shouldn't.
I just had to put it out there. You heard it here first.
Awesome. Fox, you've been quiet.
Yeah. It's my trend this time around. Yeah, I don't really have that much to say about Uncharted because the multiplayer is not relevant.
I kind of agree with that too, honestly. All right, so let's go ahead and move on. So there might be a new standard Xbox One controller coming. I want to go around and see what anyone thinks of, Microsoft probably changing up the standard controller again. They've already did a revision. I'm kind of on the defense if it's not broke, don't fix it kind of thing. And plus, the Elite controller is about the best controller you can have out there right now. So, what everybody else think?
Well, from what I hear, the controller it's going to add some things that like the Elite has, possibly. Like I said, these are just rumors. Don't quote me on this, but like the diamond gripping that's on the back of the Elite controller will be put on like the standard controller. Certain things like that. I have an Elite controller. I actually have an Elite console, so I can definitely agree with G that the Elite controller, like, just you could feel that it's just quality. I actually can't go back to that all plastic controller. I feel like I'm gonna break the thing now.
I do the same thing, man. I just play with my Elite, but every once in a while I'll go back to the white one because of the diamond grips and stuff, just to give it a little playtime. But man, I just can't stop using that Elite controller.
I'm happy to see that they're bringing out another style of controller with, it's supposed to have various colors. And I think, a lot of gamers enjoy that. Their controllers, a lot of people try to buy as like many customized ones as possible. They like the collecting them and everything like that. And if they add the grips that the Elite controller has, then that will definitely make things a lot more easier for a lot of gamers to adjust to that style of controller instead of just their hands sliding and everything else on the standard controller that is now. And that's one of my biggest issues with the old controller is when you're sitting there playing for a good few hours, you have to put it down because your hands get sweaty or whatnot, and the plastic you just kind of rub against. But with those grips, it's comfortable in your hands and it's more enjoyable to play. So if they actually bring out a controller, a standard-based controller that has that, I think it'll actually sell very well.
That's a lot of good points. Fox?
I think Zazz wants them to put a touchpad and a light bar on the X1
Why did you
controller.
take my joke, X-Boy? I was waiting.
Sorry.
Yeah, Zazz, you have an Elite controller, right?
Actually, go
had
figure, mine was broken. So,
Uh-oh.
yeah, the whole reason I wanted it, because when I went over to go see yours, GKB, the whole reason I wanted it was because they had the little switch on the back that could make it do the half trigger depress and make it kill faster, and mine didn't work.
Oh, here's a nice story for everybody. The first time we got the Elite controller, Zazz came over. GKB was at work,
Get it,
and
actually.
he picked up our kid's juice, and he was looking at the cup, and he spilt it on the counter. He turned around and texted GKB and told him he spilt the juice on his Elite controller.
That was so funny. Now, just so I don't sound like a cup enthusiast, it was a Lego cup.
Yeah, so it was a special-looking cup. It was a
Go
Lego.
around and pick up people's cutleries and various holding utensils and inspect them. That was a funny joke at the time. You were not happy about it, if I recall, which is the whole purpose of the joke, so I'm pretty sure I succeeded.
Nice.
Well, not to
He
you.
still has no real comment to it.
Not even gonna
engage. You're not
Nope,
even gonna
not
engage with
engaging.
us anymore. And you know what? It's good from a host standpoint, but from an entertainment standpoint, I'm not happy about it. Just saying.
What about Fox or Clowns? What do you guys think about the new controller? Possibly rumored.
When it comes to controllers, I'm not really that excited for new controllers. I mean, the Elite was cool, and the Scuff controllers are kind of neat, and you get over it. What I want to see, here's what I really want to see. Like, I want to see like them come out with a controller that the interface is completely changeable. Like, you can change like the plastic outside of it and snap new ones on. I want to see like addable thumbsticks. Like, you could pop the old ones off, pop new ones on the standard controller. And I want to see like where the big guide button is. You like change the colors on that thing. Like add a blue one, add a yellow one, add a purple one if you want. Whatever you want to do, but something like that. Otherwise, I'm just gonna have to keep modding stuff myself.
Yeah,
they need to stop being lazy.
Yeah.
They do need to stop being lazy. I want one that doesn't have the little seams in the middle that my hand dirt gets stuck in, because that's germs and that's gross, and I'm tired of cleaning it out.
Interesting.
Done. It's kind of gross, and that's why I'm not happy about it.
Yeah, I totally agree with Zaz. Like, do you clean it out with your nail? Like you just
I actually go and get a nice little pin, and I have a whole kit for getting the follicles of dirt out, and then I go and sanitize said pin, and then I sanitize my hands and the controller afterwards, because I don't like germs. Next subject, go ahead.
No, what about Fox? Fox didn't say anything about a controller.
Okay, forgot. Sorry.
Oh, there she
The control thing, I mean, I'm interested to see how it looks, and I hope they have different colors and maybe a little bit different style, but not too much, because obviously the control's perfect, and I have the Elite, and I'm happy with that, so we'll see what happens.
They're gonna make one that looks like the old Nintendo 64 controller. That's what I heard.
They should just build a Gears
terrible
one
controller.
that's got like a shotgun built into it already.
Nice.
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
buying it.
And you would, and that's part of the problem. But move on. Next subject. Sorry, derailed
Well,
you
this
again.
is one you actually like, Zazz, so let's get
Oh,
into it.
good.
I think all of us actually like this
I
one.
don't like a
actually.
lot of things, so go ahead. Try me.
The Overwatch beta.
Oh, okay.
Everyone,
Yeah.
I think, did everyone have a chance? Is everyone hyped? Did you see some trailers? Did you see some gameplay? Go for it. And
Nobody has
What?
anything to say.
All right.
Anybody
Okay,
got a
No,
If
I'll go
anybody has
first
a quote
because
for me, I'll
Go
Hey,
first.
hey,
go first. You've been last each time.
I was gonna say Fox is having the stage. Everyone, shh.
okay.
I'm looking forward to the game. I'm gonna actually have to wait until open beta, but everything that I've seen so far, I really like, and the game looks gorgeous. Like the little videos, the little shorts they done for it, I really like those. I saw gameplay, I like that. Even if it was all like a PC gamer was playing it, it's still something interesting that I would like to play, because at first I didn't really care for it, and then you guys started talking about it a lot, and it got me kind of hyped for it now. I wish I had the beta now, but I have to wait.
Yeah, you let her go first. She hasn't played it yet. What the heck?
It's
Just
okay.
kidding.
Everybody
Oh,
just
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh
I'll
my
go.
god, why am I here? No, okay. Go ahead.
I'm actually where is Mooch when I need him? 'Cause
He was in chat earlier.
yeah, and he brought up a good point in chat where it's like I put like 10 rounds into this now, and now I'm starting to get concerned with something that he had a concern about, of maybe does it have that kind of like Halo, Call of Duty, I guess, esque longevity? Because it is really cool at the beginning for a lot of fun little gimmicks, but when you see those gimmicks exploited, you get a little bit upset. I am not going to make a full judgment call on it until I played it for about 2 weeks, but it's a concern that I now have.
I'm actually excited about because it's supposed to have a campaign, I believe, where it's got like they release some of the backstory of the actual characters, and I'm interested to see that. I do think the multiplayer is definitely going to have the opportunity to where it could become a lackluster if they don't actually add more to it, but at the same time, I don't think we're seeing all of what it's going to bring. I think, we're just getting a taste, even though they're giving us every character, which that alone I really appreciate, because we're actually getting to try out each character instead of being limited to only a couple. But I don't think that this is the full multiplayer that we're seeing, and I think there's a lot more to be brought to it.
That's true. And it's definitely already way better than Battle Boring. That game is horrible.
Oh, preach, brother, preach.
Thank you.
Battleborn is terrible. I agree.
Back me up. Thank you. Everybody on the panel. Nobody likes it? Anybody who
No.
even
I
remotely
thought it was
liked it?
alright.
Anyone? Oh, okay.
I thought it was alright. My son
That's
just
cool.
bought it, so my son loves it.
I wanted to find one person who remotely liked it, though. I know it can't be as bad as I'm making it sound.
No, I thought it was cool. I like the aesthetics of the world, and I was using that vampire with the red swords and stuff like that. You would think that he had a disadvantage, but like I was running around tearing some stuff up, and it was cool. I like the animation.
It then I just judgment called it, and I'll give it a second try.
Go for it.
Looking at Battleborn, I thought Battleborn was like a upgraded Smite to an extent. That's how I looked at it, except you pay $60 to play it. As far as Overwatch, though, when I first saw my daughter play it, I thought the game was trash. Like, I thought it was going to be a gimmick, like, here you're on it, and nobody's going to be on it, and like 2 months from now it's going to be dead on the servers. It's just another washed up kind of like first person shooter with sci-fi and cartoon Borderlands stuff added to it. But when I started playing it with like Assassin and Inferno, I kind of thought it was good. I liked it better than I first thought I was going to like it, I could say. Do I think it's worth $60? No, I'd wait till it drops to like 35. But I do think it's going to last at least 6 months of multiplayer, 6 months to a year, before people phase out on it, unless you're hardcore.
Yeah. I think Overwatch is really good, man. I don't know about longevity. I mean, you guys all make really good points on that. I didn't play enough of it to really have a full drawn-out conclusion of what I think about this game, but I thought the graphics were awesome. I think the gameplay is amazing. I do worry about longevity like the rest of everyone here. But I'll give credit where credit's due, man. Blizzard makes really good games, so
They do. That they do.
Alright, I just want to
they
like
support it.
correct myself. I guess there isn't actually a campaign. What I was reading before, there's like severe lore on each character, and that I guess people actually wanted a campaign is the actual article. So, Bearclaw, you're correct. There isn't actually just a single player campaign.
That might be a deal breaker for me, in honesty.
Yeah, now
Yeah.
that I've actually just read that, yeah, I like from everything I was reading before, people were saying that there was supposed to be a campaign, and I was watching these videos about like the backstories of these characters, and that's where my original thought came that there would be a campaign, a single player, but no, from everything I just read, there is no campaign, so that is actually pretty disappointing.
It doesn't really disappoint me. I love Titanfall. It didn't have a campaign, and I thought it was one of the best shooters out. So there's that.
You know, in the words of the famous SheWolf, as SheWolf once said, tunes. I want to customize my tunes more on this game.
Right?
Yeah, I can agree.
You
with
know, and the poses, they're all so super sexist. I'm gonna freak out about the whole dang thing.
that. That was like
Horrible. That was a while ago, and I'm still, it's boiling in there with
You know what?
stupidity.
I did a whole thing about that. I think that is the dumbest thing ever because they have like, in Street Fighter V, they have that freaking yo-yo girl that's like showing her ass and everything, and yet they're gonna complain because someone has a freaking pose where they're just showing her butt in an outfit. Like,
Yeah, but-
can you please grow up.
Think about it though. Look at Japanese culture and look at like those anime style games, even on the Vita, like Corpse Party or whatever it's called.
Okay,
I mean,
so what about Mortal Kombat then? The original Mortal Kombat, we were at a barbershop and I was watching a kid play it, and they had like all the main females, like Jade and all them, they had like this tiny little bathing suit thing, and when they like got hit enough, you actually saw like the whole side of their boobs and everything, but they're gonna complain about Tracer the way she was freaking standing?
Like she was posed, yeah. And
Yeah,
the
but
pose
I
is
mean,
worse.
back in the day though, Mortal Kombat really was put through the ringer with Congress. So I mean, they paid their dues with stuff like that.
I just thought by now they would have grown up. Like, I really thought by now people would get over it and realize it's a game. If you don't like the way a character looks, don't look at it. Don't play it.
Don't buy the game. Steer clear.
Exactly.
That could be
Exactly.
your
Yep.
silent protest.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree. Anybody else want to talk about Overwatch?
I gotta wait for the open beta before I get my hands on it because I didn't get a code. So I don't know. Gee, I'll let you know on Xbox Live or whatever how I like it or whatnot. So.
We'll jam out and play some games.
Oh yeah,
I'm looking-
definitely.
I'm looking forward to trying some of the characters. Scarlet Snipes. I don't know her name. She
Black
looks pretty
Widow.
interesting.
She was
Yeah.
really cool, actually.
And
Yeah,
I
there's
think
so many
Reaper,
characters.
his name is. He
Yeah,
looks
he's
pretty
also cool.
Yeah, so those two.
Widowmaker was a pretty awesome character.
I don't know. I gotta check it out.
Yeah.
But those two, I mean, I'm really looking forward to trying those first.
I've been when I play, I've been Junkrat like the whole time. I'm like hitting MVP a lot, getting like 4 or 5 kills like each time with the tire. It's so cheap, it's so great, and I love it.
Oh yeah, I see somebody using that. That looks fun.
That's awesome. All right, SheWolf, we got any questions? I thought there
I
was a
don't know.
ton in
Bear
there
Claw's
actually.
like saying he wishes he was on because
Bear
Claw's like saying he wishes he was on because he disagrees with me. Which now I'm curious to how could he disagree? I am a female. I think I have a pretty good opinion on when it comes to whether or not women should be sexist towards this kind of stuff. So I'm kind of
I do want to
curious.
see the argument on that. I would love to
Me
see
too.
this.
I'm kind of curious now.
You guys should
I
have
see-
a special
Craps
episode
keeping
just on
score
that.
over here.
We should have that special episode, and I agree. We'll break down all the barriers on Console Corner, everything, every social issue, all at once. Where is he now that we need
Oh
him?
well, this could be a Xbox Live exclusive party chat rant. So Bear, we will have it out tonight.
Yeah, there you go. Ooh, ooh.
You're so way too happy, Zazz.
I am way too happy. I love this. I live for this. But seriously, is there like no questions?
No, I haven't really seen any actually.
Yeah, nobody's been asking anything. The only thing that's been happening is the crap has been dropping my points like a brick. I'm at like negative like 400 points for some
I
reason.
think you're actually
Yeah.
lower than that.
I
Actually.
didn't even know we were
I think so.
scoring this thing. Like, when did that happen?
Yeah,
I actually
Ran
like the
and
points.
Ran and Crap kind of started
like the
scoring
points.
it.
I think they're right on par.
I think Crap he's kind of being stingy with points with me here. I'm looking at the comment section right now. Come on, man. I'm worth more than this.
The only thing
Oh,
that's
pretty
happened,
good. I can just say
yeah.
boobs and get 100 points. Like,
So where did I score in points? Because I'm not even looking.
I think you're negative because Crap says you weren't talking enough, so you're at negative like 500 or something.
So-
I'm at like
I thought
negative
I was-
2,000.
I thought I was talking enough.
I thought so too. That's why I think the point system is unfair, and we should have more than one judge.
I think he's paid off by Activision.
I think he
clear to
is.
say- yeah.
HP has a question. However, HP, I would really appreciate you actually hold this question off as next week we will be doing our E3 talk. So
E3 show
if you
that
could
next week.
hold off that question till next week, we will definitely be talking about it.
Here's another question too. I guess we could talk about this. I really didn't want to talk about this, but it's a question. So, what is the podcast opinion to the new Xbox One
I knew
being
that.
10 teraflops
I knew
and
that.
4 to 5 times stronger than the PS Neo? This is coming from Storm Shadow. Big shout out to Storm Shadow.
Alright, I'm just jumping in this quickly because I said this on Twitter. I'm tired of hearing about hardware. I could care less about hardware. You need games. Hardware is useless without games. So, yeah, that's where I stand. I would like to see games before all this talk about hardware.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm kind of as far as that whole rumor thing. I don't think it's true. That's a big GPU with 10 teraflops.
Yeah.
That would cost like a crap ton. I don't think it's true. I think it's probably going to be right on par, maybe slightly stronger than the PS4 Neo, depending on when they come out. I've said this on Xbox Nation and other podcasts. I'm a tech guy. I love new tech. I'll get the new tech, but where's the games? Like, I want like AAA games to go with all this hardware. Like,
All right.
Agreed.
You know,
Go ahead.
no, you go ahead, Xbox. I'll tag up after you.
I was gonna say the next Xbox is definitely coming soon, and I know there's certain people, possibly in the chat or whatnot, that don't agree with me, but I do
UWP.
believe UWP. It's gonna be an upgradable console, and the reason why I say this is because of AMD as well. AMD, they just started with their Polaris GPU architecture. Vega, and then they're slotted for 2019 for another one called Navi. And Navi, one of the bullet points for the Navi architecture is scalability, and that's right down Microsoft's alley. 10 teraflops is insane on a console. I think it's going to be. I can almost guarantee it's going to be more powerful than the Neo.
mm-hmm.
I think they have until the end of 2017 to release it, and the thing about it is it's going to be upgradable, and as long as they make it more powerful than the Neo, and then a couple years after come out with that new architecture, like the upgradable part going into Navi, like with an upgradable system, they have the chance of always being on top, and it's not with people having to spend $500 for every 5 to 7 years or something like that. A couple $100, like 3 years or so.
That's where I'm with you too. Xbot is. I'd rather have the modular console. Like every couple of years, I spend like 150 bucks for an upgrade, and then I can continue on for another few more years. I'm down with that, man. But I don't want every 3 years I'm spending like $400 on a console. That's just ridiculous to me.
No. I think Microsoft's like they've seen this. At least Phil Spencer. Phil Spencer has seen like what's going on with consoles and stuff like that, and how the technology is on such an upswing. And like in all, if they didn't go ahead with this type of console, then every 3 years your console would be like at the bottom ring of technology. You see what I'm saying? With how fast the technology is climbing and stuff like that, especially with AMD. AMD is doing some crazy stuff, and they're looking to completely take over in terms of graphics cards and stuff like that. They're looking to push NVIDIA only to top tier stuff, like the very top tier stuff. They're taking over everything else underneath that.
Yeah, their tech's looking really good with their new architecture and everything for sure.
Yeah.
What about you, Italians? I knew you were gonna say something.
The 10 teraflops or whatever, I kind of feel like that's like just a rumor, like a false rumor. I mean, if they really did push 10 teraflops in there, that would be epic, dude. I'd be so happy, and I would say that definitely it's going to beat the Neo. However, as an ex-hacker and ex-IT security specialist, I would just love it anyway. And I want to be able to put like Kali Linux on there or FreeBSD or something.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you think about it though, like the 980 Ti is pushing like what, like around 5 to 6 teraflops, and that's like what, a $600 card. Like I just don't see that in a console, man. Like that's just so much money to be spending.
Yep.
I just think there's too many rumors, and I would just like something to actually be set in stone. We still don't actually have exact set dates or anything. It's just a lot of people putting out a lot of rumors, and I would rather just actually see what it is. Like these two companies, Microsoft and Sony, both need to actually release what it is actually going to be, when it is actually going to come out before I start believing or seeing anything.
And you know what? They need to start announcing that crap as soon as they, get their patents and trademarks in on everything. Don't wait for E3. I mean, it's so stupid and pointless to keep waiting for like some big consumer show. As soon as you get your stuff done, just announce it. That's it.
But see, the thing is, like the buzz that's being created over quote unquote rumors and everything like that is invaluable to these companies. You know what I'm saying? Even seeing how we feed off of this, seeing the positivity and seeing the negativity, it gives the companies a good idea where everything is going.
I'll agree to disagree because look at Nintendo. They don't feel that way.
Well, Nintendo's kind of like the crazy cousin that sits in the corner at a family reunion. Like they just do whatever they want. You know what I'm saying? They stockpile quarters in the bank so this way they can live comfortably for the rest of their life. But like with all this going on, like I'm kind of getting used to the whole pre-E3 thing. I've been around, like I've done a couple rounds, and the rumors start swirling like crazy. If it's not about hardware, it's about games, all right? It's about like remember bringing OG Xbox games back? People were talking Voodoo Vince, people were talking, Microsoft's going to grab all these titles from Sega. We're going to have Power Stone on the X1 and stuff. Like the rumors go all over the place before E3. Now, in terms of the hardware, there's some paperwork and stuff, especially by AMD, that is kind of making people look into it a little bit more. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Anybody else want to chime in before we have another question?
Why do they call it a teraflop? I'm just throwing that out there. It's kind of a weird name.
It's because Fat Joe invented it, and he's part of Terra Squad.
Nice.
I like that answer.
All right.
Isn't he the one
Um,
that said "Do the Rock away"? Was that him? Or am I thinking of
Lean
someone
back.
else? Yeah.
Lean back.
It's,
Yep, that's him. Yeah.
nah.
Okay, so the current scores from Crab Gamer for all of us is Wolf wins with 999 points. Then
No, it's supposed to be Fox. He wrote it wrong.
Fox, okay, 999. SheWolf at 998, just below. GKB 800. Clowns negative 555. Zazz negative 450, and Xbot negative 1.2 million. Wow.
Jeez.
Did I
man.
beat out two
You
people?
know,
Wow.
Crap. I
Crap.
was just about to ask everybody to donate like $500 to you. Every single person I know in this world just donate $500 to Crap. Will that raise my score?
I feel like the scoring was definitely like I don't understand it. We weren't explained the rules, and he refuses to say them. So
I was doing good. I was doing good at one point in time. I wonder where I went wrong with crap. I'm trying to think back. I
You'll
don't
have
know
to
where.
ask him.
I don't
Crap,
know where it went
Where
negative.
did Italian
I'm
go
sure
wrong?
I went wrong a few times, but that's just.
Oh wait, maybe because you said you don't like Halo.
Yeah, it's definitely wrong.
I thought the Halo thing was kind of right though, because I mean,
It
think
was
about
right.
Yeah.
Don't be bullied by his scoring.
Anyways, hold on, guys. There's actually one more quick question.
Cool.
Subs3 or I guess is supposed. I'm sorry if I said your name wrong. Says, do you think Xbox would hold a second event to announce Xbox hardware like they did with the Xbox One, since there's two models in the document?
God, I hope so. I really don't want to like sit through an E3 with a bunch of new hardware and stuff. Honestly, I just want to see a bunch of games.
I was going to say that would make sense if Phil Spencer and Microsoft are listening to the consumer base. You have the unveiling like kind of before E3 this way. At E3, you could just focus on the games that are coming out. Show us more Scalebound. Show us what Recore is.
I don't think we're gonna see Scalebound. I think Scalebound is actually gonna be held off till Gamescom because it's coming out in 2017. So I think that one's gonna be held off till Gamescom. But I think they're gonna show like Sea of Thieves and Recore though.
I want to see what Recore is. I mean, I'm interested in that. You know, Sandstorms kind of changing your path in this world and stuff like that. And then Sea of Thieves just looks, from what I've seen, looks drop dead gorgeous. Oh my goodness.
That's gonna be an MMO. I think everyone's gonna love to play.
The only game I really care about coming out is Cuphead.
I really want Cuphead too.
But that's supposed to be coming out. What is that supposed to be out in June? I think somebody said.
I hope so. I really hope so.
I could be wrong, but I believe someone said it was June.
That would be really cool if, like, right at E3, they're like, "Oh yeah, by the way, Cuphead, yeah, you can download that now. Go ahead and purchase that now. Play it today." I want to see, like, this. Funny, I don't see a lot of people talk about it. There's a game called Ghost of a Tale with a little mouse. If you're talking about those smaller titles like Cuphead and stuff like that, Ghost of a Tale, when I first saw that, really interested me, and it kind of like disappeared. My friend Anchorman, shout out to Anchorman, he said that he talked to the developers. It's still in the works. It's still like being developed. It's still going to come out, and it's a X1 Windows 10 game. But I don't know. Has anybody seen that?
No,
game?
I haven't seen that.
No.
I haven't seen the Mean Greens either. Speaking of which, does anybody even remember that being showed?
No.
Mean Greens.
That was the third person Army Man one.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah, and that did a soft launch on Steam, and then there's no announcement. I've even like.
I'm sorry. I saw Friends with Anchorman minus 2 million. And
yeah, right. The story. I don't understand it, nor do I subscribe to it.
But again,
okay.
this is gonna have to go back to. Can't really go too in depth about E3 talk really, because that's kind of the whole next show. So hope everyone tunes in for that though.
Here's a real quick question too from Poison Ivy. Do you guys think that this will be the last generation of traditional consoles as we know them currently?
I think so.
Yeah, I think waiting 5 to 7 years for a new console is probably over. We will definitely know more at E3 when they show these probably the Neo and maybe an upgradable Xbox. We don't really know yet. But yeah, I think it's over traditionally. Yeah.
Phil Spencer has said that he doesn't want to do the whole repeating generations. He would like to end that. I believe was in a conference that he was talking about before, which it would be interesting. The hardware is adapting so fast. The technology is moving so quickly that if they're going to keep up with everything and keep the games up to where everybody wants them to be, then they're going to have to.
What were you going to say, Italian?
Exactly.
I'm just waiting for Dreamcast 2 and Retron 5 or 6.
Right?
Yeah, that's what I'm moving for.
Mm-hmm.
No, but I mean, consoles just need to die, and we just need to be able to upgrade them at this
What?
point.
All gaming needs to be dead, and it's just gone.
What do you
You're a gamer?
Pretty soon, it's all going to be just Call of Duty Mountain Dew Dorito boxes. Is all it's going to be because of this corporate nonsense that we keep getting
Zazz
ourselves
has
into.
officially just hit a new low.
Well, it depends on what flavor Dorito, man. What flavor
Cool
Dorito
Ranch.
are you talking about here?
Can we bring back arcades and pop quarters back
pinball
in?
machines. They were all like 3,000 a piece. They broke down every 20 minutes, but they were pretty cool.
They were fun.
They were. Bring them back.
And then you would complain that you'd have to get up and actually go to an arcade to play a game.
Which I wouldn't do. You're right.
Exactly, see?
I was there all the time, morning to close.
Good, Xbox.
When you're talking about the consoles generation, if this is going to be the last generation, well, technically, the next Xbox, that could very well be it. Because if you look at what these companies have said within the last couple of years, Sony wants to use the PlayStation brand to bring up other divisions within Sony. So they want the PlayStation brand to be a streaming service. This way they can offer subscriptions with their TVs, bring their TV division up out of the red, stuff like that. Microsoft even said eventually, games are going to be streaming. So I think the next box could be it. I mean, because Sony's putting out their what I call their buffer box with the 4K or whatever. It gives them a couple more years to kind of really solidify their streaming service. And then with Microsoft, I believe Phil Spencer is just like, when he came in and took over Matrix Box, all right? He's like, yeah, I'll do whatever I can to turn this all around, but you know what, Satya, come on, man. You got to let me develop my own box before we move ahead with that other thing. Come on, man. Like, I'll do this, but just let me develop my own box, please. And I think Satya said yes. But in all actuality, this is all going to eventually turn into streaming services.
God, I hope not. I don't want to stream anything. I mean, yeah, I could see it, man. The tech and all that's going that way, but I really hope not.
It's not ready. I don't think it's going to be ready for a while.
Well, no, that's why I said, another Xbox. You have PlayStation with their buffer box. You know what I'm saying? That will give them a few more years. Tacked on to your traditional 5 to 7 for the vanilla PlayStation 4. You have that 4K one that'll stretch it even a couple more years than that.
Mm-hmm.
And then see what happens, because I could almost guarantee you that's what they're going to be advertising.
What were you saying, Fox?
I was just saying that it's not ready yet, and that it's going to take some time for that stuff to come up and be developed properly before they can do that in the future. But right now, no, it's not working out for streaming.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't go that way at all.
Well, I'm not a big fan of this whole streaming stuff. It's eventually going to happen because there's easy money in it, and then you don't own the disc to resell, and they can't buy resold discs or used games. But because Rand just bought the $100 Activision, I just dropped like $50 on PS Now, so I'll let you guys know.
Yeah, I use PS Now. I mean, it works pretty well. I mean, it does work. I've only ever seen some like minor issues with it, even when I was on bad internet, but if that's the way it goes, the only reason I'll be upset is because, like, I am obviously not well, I don't know if I've ever said that before, that I'm not a digital fan. I like having all the physical discs.
Okay.
And that'll be my big thing. Though I am super lazy about getting up to put the discs in. So maybe Just maybe if I'm forced to do it, I'll be happier in the long run. Who knows?
Anybody else got anything to say before we go ahead and get out of here?
Nope.
All right. All right, everyone. We're going to go ahead and close out the show now. I want to thank all our guests on the panel tonight. We really appreciate you all coming on. I'm going to let each one of them go ahead and shout out their channels and all that kind of stuff, and then we're going to go ahead and get out of here. What you got going on, Zazzy?
What?
And
Shout out your stuff.
yeah, he's just doing Zazz. What about you, SheWolf?
Well, you can find me on Twitter at Desert SheWolf. You can find me on Xbox Live at Desert SheWolf. You can find me, of course, here on Gamers Knows Best, like always, with GKB. So, yeah, stay tuned for that, and yeah.
What about you, Fox?
You can find me on here on Twitter. On here on YouTube and on Twitter. And, yeah, I don't know what else to say.
It's all good. What about you, Italian?
4guyswithquarters.com, 4GWQ Podcasts on Twitter, 4guyswithquarters on Twitch and YouTube. And I'd just like to give a shout out to Inferno, who's on TXR on Monday nights.
Absolutely.
And then most of the time I've been making Mooch's Crossfire on Fridays. So, yep, you can always find us there.
Awesome. What about you, Xbot? What you got going on, brother?
Yeah, definitely check out my YouTube channel. Follow me on Twitter. I have my own Twitch channel. Everything's the same name, all right? Because having all different names is confusing. So if you check one out, try to check out the other ones. You could definitely find me on the Crossfire podcast on Fridays. I love doing that podcast. And gee, as usual, man, thanks for having me over here. You guys put up with a loudmouth Italian, and I really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, my mic was having issues. I was messing up there.
Oh, no worries.
Also, before the show ends, I would like to send out a very big thank you to Slappy Happy Gamer for giving us the beta for Overwatch to be able to play it early, so we do appreciate that very much.
Absolutely.
And you can also find GKB and myself on Xbox Nation on Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock, so tune in for that.
Yep. I also want to thank Jay Williams for the art he's done for the show. Big shout out to also PTK Blam and AsthMattic. Like SheWolf said, don't forget Xbox Nation. That's tomorrow. And I'll also be on the Shop Podcast on Saturday at 8 Eastern as well. Thanks, everyone. Have a great night, and take care of your fellow gamers.
Don't buy Call of Duty.